Welcome in, everybody, to another week of Flex or Fade, where Chris K and myself jump in and give you a little peek behind the curtain on if we are including a player in our player pool or generally recommending that you include a player in your player pool this week for DraftKings DFS, the main slate this week for college football. We have 12 games on the horizon, and this week I am fully on board the Javon Baker train. So Javon Baker, wide receiver for Central Florida. He comes in this week a little bit more expensive than I had anticipated. He is 5,400 against Kansas, but he has been boom or bust for this Central Florida offense. His athleticism is the main reason why I think he can take advantage of Kansas. The Kansas secondary has allowed, I believe, 17 explosive plays. Those are plays 20 yards or more through the air so far this season. That puts them 78th in the nation in explosive pass plays defended. And Baker, he doesn't get a ton of volume. You know, he's consistently bringing in 4 or 5 catches a game. But the past 2 weeks, 1 catch against Kansas State and then 3 against Baylor. Luckily, one of those against Baylor went for 65 yards and a touchdown. So he has the ability to stretch the field. I think, regardless of whether or not it's Plumlee or McLean, I think that he has the juice to take it the distance and to stretch this Kansas this Kansas defense. I really love the fact that this is a high total game, but I think that he's a particular piece that isn't going to see super crowded ownership because of the fact that he doesn't have huge volume. Those are the kind of plays that I tend to gravitate to on any DFS slate because they are game breakers, and game breakers are slate breakers for our intents and purposes on Saturdays. So that is why I'm in favor this week of flexing Javon Baker. He will be in my my pool of players for my 20 hand build lineups. Chris, what are your thoughts on Javon Baker?
Yeah, like I say every week, I think the guys that you discuss are typically, I can get it. It makes sense. So I certainly understand the benefit or the positives. For me, he's for boom or bust. I just don't know if he's got enough boom to kind of like make sense of his bust. I don't know if he has like a 2 touchdown potential in this offense this year. I think part of that goes into the fact that like his quality of targets is interesting. He doesn't catch a lot of them, but like the team percentage in terms of completion percentage is pretty strong. So does he just drop a lot of passes? Like, or is he the only one that gets the bad passes? And maybe it is kind of those deeper shots or the tougher routes that can do that. He's certainly going to be low owned. The game total is certainly positive for him. I think you're right. I don't think the quarterback matters to me either. I think both of them you're going to get the same quality of play. You're not going to see one pass more than the other. I just am a little bit more concerned about just generally, do these quarterbacks maybe fit, like their skill set of passing fit Baker's route tree or whatever, right? If you want to get all in the weeds of stuff like that. But he certainly plays a ton of snaps, like a lot of positives, but for some reason it hasn't clicked to like that elite boomness at like the 5,400 price tag. So, it's just one of the, I think the salary comes into play a little bit here when you can move down like 12, 1,300 and move up 12, 1,300 and get it like the superstar option. But yeah, I certainly think Baker is worth a sprinkle, but he won't be much more than that for me. I'm curious to hear what you guys think. Are you guys a fan of Javon Baker? Are you guys fading him? Let us know in the Discord, and we will catch you guys next week.